Lazio vs Cagliari prediction, team news, lineups preview. Struggling in Serie A but thriving in Europe, Lazio returned to domestic duty on Saturday, when they host improving Cagliari at Stadio Olimpico. A run of 1 point from 3 league matches has seen the Rome club slip down the standings, but Champions League victory over Celtic took them into the last 16 of UEFA's top club competition. Match preview. Resulting in their worst start to a season for a decade, Lazio have picked up only 17 points from their first 13 Serie A matches and sit 11th in the table, already well adrift of Italy's top 4. Last week's loss in Salerno followed a dull goalless draw in the Derby della Capitale, and the Biancocelesti's only wins during November came in the Champions League. 3 days after ex-Lazio winger Antonio Candreva struck Salernitana's spectacular winner at Stadio Arci, Maurizio Sarri's men had gone in front through a Ciro Immobile penalty but then let their lead slip. The capital club welcomed Group E rivals Celtic to Rome. Reeling from their 6th Serie A defeat of the season, Lazio were held at bay by the Scottish champions for most of a tense encounter, but Captain Immobile emerged from the bench to seal his team's place in the Champions League knockout phase. The striker's late brace followed his crucial winner against Feyenoord earlier in the month, so for all their strife on the domestic scene, at least Sarri's side have something to look forward to at the start of 2024. More immediately, Lazio must get their league campaign back on track before the current top 4 race off into the distance. With that in mind, they perhaps could not have picked better opponents to tackle on Saturday evening. Without a win throughout their last 16 Serie A meetings with Lazio, losing on no less than 13 occasions, Cagliari clearly have a complex when it comes to their counterparts from the Eternal City. Nonetheless, they travel to Rome this time around boasting a far better recent record than the Biancocelesti, having accrued 7 points from their last 4 Serie A matches, just 1 fewer than they managed from the previous 20. Since winning promotion back to Italy's elite level via the playoffs, Claudio Ranieri's men had struggled to get to grips with life in the top flight, but a remarkable turnaround over the past few weeks has lifted them off the bottom of the table. The Sardinian side saw off Genoa shortly after battling back from 3 goals down to stun another promoted club, Frosinone, as well as securing progress to the Coppa Italia's 3rd round in between. Last week, Cagliari resumed action following the international break, before which they narrowly lost to Juventus with a 1-1 draw at home to Monza, failing to retain an advantage gained in the 10th minute through centre-back Alberto Dossena. However, the Rossoblu still have a meager tally of just 2 points from their first 6 away fixtures, and should they now lose at Stadio Olimpico, it would represent the club's worst haul at this stage of a season since 2005. Team news. While midfielder Matias Vecino returns following a 1-match European ban, and Luis Alberto is also available after missing last week's loss to Salernitana through suspension. Lazio coach Maurizio Sarri still has several men sidelined this weekend. Defensive duo Alessio Romagnoli calf and Nicolo Casale thigh are unavailable due to injury, and another regular member of the hosts' starting 11. Italy winger Mattia Zaccagni is set to miss out with a hip problem. After making a match-winning impact in midweek, Ciro Immobile should be promoted from the bench. Lazio's skipper is only 2 goals shy of reaching 200 Serie A strikes and has previously scored 12 times against Cagliari in the top flight. Meanwhile, Cagliari's Andrea Patagna has 4 league goals to his name versus Lazio, including his very first, back in August 2016. Once again, he vies with Eldar Shomurodov, Gianluca Lapadula, and super sub Leonardo Pavoletti for a place up front. Zito Luvumbo and Inter Loni Gaetano Oristano are both contenders to support the Rossoblu's central striker, but fellow forward Marco Mancosu could be sidelined by a knee injury. Lazio possible starting lineup: Pruvdel, Lazzari, Patrick, Gila, Maruzic, Guendouzi, Vecino, Alberto, Anderson, Immobile, Pedro. Cagliari possible starting lineup: Scuffet, Goldeniga, Dossena, Hatzidakos, Zappa, Prati, Makumbu, Agilo, Viola, Luvumbo, Patagna. We say, Lazio 2-1 Cagliari. The pressure is on Lazio to produce, as they face promoted opponents and have plenty of catching up to do in Serie A. Last term's runners-up are also without half of their first-choice back four, but Cagliari can be caught out defensively and will surely suffer the same fate as Celtic. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.